Hi, my name is Michelle Boyer. I played Aura Singh in episode 1, and you are listening to Radio Free Decipher.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Radio Free Decipher time once
Yay,
again. It's
Radio
Friday.
Free
That means Radio Free Decipher. So we have our one of our favorites, one of our two favorite guest VJs in today, or DJs. Kendrick Summers. How you doing?
Hello.
The other one's Francis, man. I won't tell you who is our real favorite, but
I see. Well, it sounded like you said we have our two favorites here, and I
yeah,
thought,
and I'm one of them.
You're bipolar,
no, we have
right?
one of our
right.
two. Yeah.
Well, I'm bipolar. That's
all right.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent. What do we got in store today?
Well, we've got a little Tatooine news. We've got some JK news, some Jedi Knights news. We've got a big event coming up this weekend at Gamma in Las Vegas. We've got a couple weekends after that. We've got the Grand Slam in Pasadena. We've got some Voyager news, and then the big news of the day. We've got an interview with Christian Moore, head of Decipher's new RPG division.
Yes.
So that'll be good.
And yet, still bigger than that. Well, listen, that's the biggest. There's
cool.
There's no news bigger than that.
You just can't top that.
Yeah,
oh, there is.
You can't, but.
All right, well, start us rolling here.
How about, we'll start off with a little Tatooine.
Okay.
Next week, hopefully we'll start seeing some card images up on the website for
great.
Tatooine. Oh, that'll be good. Everybody's going to be really excited about all that. I can't wait to see everybody's faces out there. Oh, wait. When they see Darth Maul. It's awesome. It's awesome.
You'll have to take web images and email them to Kyle.
No, don't do that, seriously, because
Yeah,
he'll be on the road.
Email him to me at evanlorentz@decipher.com.
No, he'll be on the road, and if you all mob him with your email, with your images, it's going to take him like 4 hours to download. Actually, that'd be pretty funny.
No, that'd be bad. So anyways, we're going to start to see some card images, so I'm just going to go ahead and give everybody a few card titles today. I'm not going to spoil any cards because we'll wait for that for the website, but I'll give you a couple...
tantalizing bits?
Yes. This one is one of the non-Episode 1 cards.
Okay.
There aren't too many in the set, but
there are some.
It's called The Shield is Down.
The shield is down.
The
I wonder what that is for. I wonder what that would be for.
Commence attack on the Death Star's main reactor.
Oh, that was very good.
Thank you.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
We're all doing our Akbar impression. Another one is sort of for the other side of the Force called We Shall Double Our Efforts. I'll let you all think of what that could be. That'll be good.
Kendrick just coyly sips his drink here.
You have a favorite card from this set, Kendrick?
From the Tatooine set?
Yeah.
Well, actually, things are a little blurred for me because I know the guys upstairs have started working in advance of the Tatooine set. So
they're already ahead to the next project.
Yeah, but there are a few that are pretty strong. One that I squawked about when I saw it. And, I had some help and was carried over to the dark side of the Force. So we'll see how this particular card does in the metagame. It's pretty strong, and it introduces some kind of new things, but I won't reveal the name because it's not on Kyle's list. And, if it's not on Kyle's list, it ain't going on our FD.
Okay. Very true. No, I'm kidding.
So after all that, yes, I do.
Okay.
I'll ask again some other time.
All right.
There's some really cool stuff about Tatooine. One of the coolest aspects that I really like, and it seemed to get a really good response out there in the community of those that have seen it so far, is that there will be alternate art images.
Yeah, it's a really neat idea.
Of a lot of the really cool cards in the set. So it's going to be denoted by a little, around the set icon on each card, there's like normally a little silver circle.
Right.
Well, on these alternate art image cards, there will be little gold ones.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's really exciting, and I've seen some of those alternate art images. Have you guys gotten a chance to see them yet?
I haven't. No, I've just seen the one.
I'm really torn right now between the two Darth Maul images on which one I think is better. Everybody's going to see it really soon, and those that were at the Neutral Ground event in New York got to see the Darth Maul that we had there, and he has he's on in the Tatooine desert, and it's sort of dusk time, and so the sky is really deep, rich blue, and that's a really cool image. And the other one of him is pretty spectacular.
Actually, I have seen that. Isn't that the one where he's at the Sith barbecue eating corn on the cob?
That's right. And he's got a Kiss the Chef shirt on.
And his teeth look so funny already, but when they've got the little corn kernel stuck in them, it's fun.
Star Wars is a collector's haven, and this was one thing that we did that I think is really going to help those collectors out there. Feel like, hey, this is a good thing, and what could be better than a mall than two malls?
Cool. Right.
So
They fight the same, but
All right.
they're like fraternal twins.
There you go.
Moving on, we got some Jedi Knights.
Yeah,
Jedi Knights
cool.
is hot around the corner.
Jedi Knights is indeed hot and around the corner, but I wondered maybe if you could just go back for just a second and maybe throw out a couple more Tatooine cards for those people that were interested, because we moved on there, and I see a couple of other.
Wow.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks. You can pass 11 to Kendrick S at Decipher.com.
All right. Well, let's see. We got another one which you might be able to. Obviously they're going to be characters like Aurra Sing and Qui-Gon and
what?
And Shmi and Padme in the set. There's going to be all those main characters, so everybody kind of expects that. So we're trying to throw out some of the fun stuff. One of the cards that shocked me the most when I found out about it was a card called "You'll Find I'm Full of Surprises."
Okay.
And I don't know if I should start talking about what that card deals with yet, but it's really cool light side dueling stuff that this card will incorporate into the game. So, just keep an eye out for that. So,
you got your eye on one in particular, don't you, Kendrick?
I'm just looking at them all, trying to remember exactly where the titles were in the movie to see if I can repeat all of them in the appropriate voice.
Here's one of my favorites. Actually, it's the new 3PO card that's going to be in there, and the title of the card is actually 3PO with his parts showing. It cracks me up. It's a great picture, and he's very powerful. But it's a picture of 3PO with his parts showing. Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah.
So. That is. I can't give out too much more, Matt.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. But we had to.
Sure. I understand.
Now let's get on the Jedi Knights.
All right, Jedi Knights.
That's the big deal.
So tell us a little bit about Jedi Knights, Kendrick.
Jedi Knights. Well, we've actually got a new project in place that's coming maybe next couple of weeks, where we're going to be able to ramp up some excitement. We want to. Try and push that hype meter up a little bit more. We're getting pretty close, folks, so we're going to start seeing a lot of stuff here real soon.
Would this new project hopefully be getting cards into players' hands prior to certain dates and times?
It might.
All right. I'll be looking forward to that.
Okay. Very cool.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. All right.
Yeah. Right. And you guys are taking off for Gamma here.
Both Kendrick and I leave tomorrow afternoon.
Big Jedi Knights focus at Gamma. Actually, little side note, not really related, not really important at all, but Kendrick booked some flights leaving from Washington National Ronald Reagan Airport.
We got to drive 3.5 hours.
We live in a place called Norfolk, Virginia, and it's like 3 hours away.
Oh, Kendrick!
So we're gonna get a little rice burner and drive to DC, and like a little small rental car. Sure.
I was gonna offer to drop you off at the airport, Kyle, but no way.
Anyways, we'll cross that bridge when we bomb it or something.
Okay.
So we're gonna work on the old drive the car with the knees and play the computer game.
Oh, that's right.
I-95.
That's right. I went out last night and I actually bought what's called a crossover cable, so Kendrick and I can hook our computers together and play video games on the airplane. Oh, it's all working. No play here, guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we have that big spreadsheet we got to finish. So
that's right. Yeah. That big resource type thing, yeah.
Back to Jedi Knight.
Oh, yeah.
The most important release.
So Sunday night, we're going to be out and about in Las Vegas teaching everybody how to play Jedi Knights, and we're going to have a bunch of free stuff and cool stuff, and come meet Kendrick Summers, I think, is one of the big focuses, and it's going to be a great time.
That wasn't on my list.
Oh, well, it is now, buddy.
Okay.
So, it's going to be really good. That's Sunday night starting at 6 o'clock, and I believe, you know what, I'm having total brain fade right now, and I remembered the name of the store. You know what, go to Decipher.com, where you've already been, and click on the story on the home page that says, Decipher invades Las Vegas, and it's going to give you all the details that you need to know. So I apologize for not being more adequately prepared.
In addition to the retail stuff that we're doing in Las Vegas with the volunteers coming to help us, and we'll be doing demos and doing our Jedi Knights gig there, we're going to be doing demos throughout the week at the GAMA trade show. And for those of you that don't know, GAMA is the Game Manufacturers Association, and it's all the trade people in the industry, the distributors, the manufacturers, the buyers that come to the show and look at the new products. And so we really want to put our best foot forward with Jedi Knights and show these people what this game is all about. So we're going to be out there in full force, and we're actually going to be bringing some materials to the show that kind of show off our Jedi Knights League. We're really, really excited about that, and League play is going to be a lot of fun, so stay tuned for info on the Jedi Knights League coming soon.
Kendrick's been one of the driving forces behind the whole Jedi Knights League, and I got to tell you, Kendrick, it's fantastic stuff.
It's getting there. It's looking pretty good. We've actually been working on this project for a long time, and only in the past couple of months have we been able to kind of get our teeth into the mix there, and it's going to be a really, really neat partnership with the release of the product itself. And if everything goes right, it's gonna kick off right on time, right on the heels of the product, and it'll just be a no-brainer. The retailers will get the league, and the players will learn how to play the game and fall right into the league. There's lots of cool cards available only through the league. This is all advanced info, of course, but you're all going to be seeing it real soon. So hang in there, and you'll be surprised.
That's great.
It's good stuff.
Excellent. And then I'm actually staying out on the West Coast, out in Vegas, and I'll be going to 2 weekends after that. I'll be going to the Star Trek Grand Slam in Pasadena, and I've said it before. There's going to be a million celebrities there, and it's going to be a great time. We're going to have the fan club there. Digital Deck's going to be there, so you can actually play games right there on our booth. We're going to have Decipher's RPG group there, Christian Moore and his group out there, and we're going to be really hyping it up. We are it when it comes to Star Trek.
Cool.
We are the daddy.
Cool.
So
perfect segue into what's
wish
going
I
on
could
with
be
Trek
there.
too.
Yes, what is going on with Trek?
Yeah.
Well, I seem to try and spoil one new thing every time we do RFD
Spoil
here.
away.
Well, it's a small one today, but we've got other big Trek news coming up.
Okay.
So when we first announced a few weeks ago that the DNs and the Kazon were going to be their own affiliations, it started this huge speculation thread on all of our, all of the lists we have about what color those guys would be, because we pretty much have run the gamut. We've done everything.
Did we get terracotta?
No, nor did we get paisley, tartan, or plaid.
Tartan.
Yeah,
That's
you like
a great
that?
one.
No, actually, what we've done is it's kind of going back to the original premiere set, as this is designed to be an entry point, a place for you to start again. And the original premiere set, of course, used blue, red, and green as the primary colors, and that's exactly what's kind of being done here. Federation, of course, are still blue. That hasn't changed. The Vidians kind of use the green motif, but unlike the Romulan green, it's this really sickly, diseased, disgusting-looking green. I think the art department calls it moss, but it's really like dirty brown with green mixed in it, and that's where they're hanging out.
Actually, the technical term for that color, I saw it on a helper's guide, is greenish.
Yeah, it looks a little like a spoiled olive, actually, but it fits them well.
Moss.
The Kazon are in the red spectrum. They are what we're calling blood, essentially, and that's what it looks like. It looks like dried blood on like a white piece of cloth or something, so it's kind of like a stained, dark, rusty red.
Very cool.
Wow.
And so that should put that particular bit of speculation to bed.
Excellent.
And it shouldn't be too much longer, hopefully, before we are all set to go and have approvals from Paramount and can start showing those cards on the site. And then you get to see it for yourself.
This is going to be huge. This really, in addition to the fun and the excitement about the set itself, what you should understand is that the product development guys have worked really, really, really hard to create yet another appropriate starting point for all of those fans out there that love Voyager and love Star Trek and need to have those barriers dropped for getting into a game like this. All you people out there that are members of this community, that are loyal members of this community, really have a responsibility behind this product coming out, and we really want to see you guys get married to it, because it's a great product, good entry point, good tournament format. I mean, we got so many fun plans.
It should be a lot of fun for both new players and our existing players.
I hope.
Yeah. All right, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you for spending some time with us today, Kendrick.
All right.
And we're going to go ahead and play an interview for everyone with Christian Moore. We're going to get him on the phone and talk it out. We have on the phone with us right now Christian Moore, who is going to be a new employee of ours out in Los Angeles, California. Christian, how you doing today?
Pretty good.
Excellent. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and why we're bringing you on board?
Well, I was actually one of the founders of Last Unicorn Games. I think most people in the industry probably know us as the designers of the Dune trading card game and the Dune role-playing game, and then all the different Star Trek role-playing and miniatures products.
Yeah.
I'm going to be heading up Decipher's role-playing and miniatures division out here in Los Angeles, and still working with pretty much the entire Last Unicorn team as new members of Decipher.
That's outstanding news. I'm sure the ears of listeners out there who are role-playing fans perked up when they heard Last Unicorn.
Exactly. Now, there was, obviously, Decipher was able to pick up the Star Trek role-playing license and miniature license a little while ago, and there were some crazy events that happened during that time. Can you kind of talk to us a little bit about your perspective on what was going on?
Well, it's sort of an interesting saga from beginning to end. I don't know. I mean, most people probably don't know that we were talking to Decipher 2 years ago about possibly coming on board and doing this then, well before Wizards acquired our company, and even before the letter of intent was signed between Decipher and FASA. And for one reason or another, we sort of decided to part ways at that point, and for a whole different set of reasons, we began talking to Wizards of the Coast when they approached us about coming on board and essentially forming the development team for their D20 line. And we accepted that offer, as I think most people know, and for the last 8 months, I've actually been the creative director for D20 products at Wizards. Initially, the intent was for Star Trek and Dune to also be products, as a part of that line.
Okay.
And there was, the best way to say this, some hot and heavy negotiating, I think, on our part and on Decipher's part with Paramount behind the scenes, and for a number of reasons, Paramount chose to renew the license with Decipher. So the announcement came at Gen Con last year, and we were a bit surprised.
What was going through your mind when that announcement happened at Gen Con, and what happened? I mean, I know from our perspective what was happening at the Decipher booth and with us as a company, but it must have been a totally different set of emotions and feelings going on with you guys at that time.
Well, obviously it was upsetting because that was one of the things that we had already planned to be doing with Wizards. Personally, I knew much more about what was going on sort of behind the scenes, so it didn't really come, I can't say it really came as a surprise to me when it was announced. I guess the timing of the announcement probably was the only surprise.
Right. Now, is it, so from there, it kind of, after that little shock to the system, how did it come that you're now with our team?
Well, we continued, to work for Wizards. We were working on a number of different D20 projects, including Call of Cthulhu, Jordan's Wheel of Time, and Dune, transferring the Dune RPG that we had already produced as Last Unicorn over to a D20 version. And then the Dune license ran into some problems. So the Dune product was canceled and some of the other projects were moved back. when a number of the layoffs were announced on the Hasbro front, they had decided to close the Los Angeles office here. We had remained in the old Last Unicorn office, working out of L.A. The idea being that, we were sort of an outside team doing specific projects and able to do certain things maybe a little bit more quickly or in a little bit more of a streamlined fashion than they could up in Seattle. And we were really given very little notice to move to Seattle. I mean, the creative team would have remained together and moved to Seattle. No one was laid off.
Okay.
But pretty much to a person, everyone declined the offer.
Yeah, they didn't want to make the move.
Right. Well, it's one of those things. I mean, people have families, they have spouses down here. I mean, everyone sort of has a life in Los Angeles, and it's a pretty big decision to pick up and move up north like that.
So at this time, did we approach you guys about positions, or did you approach us?
I approached Warren, and it was, it really seemed like a natural fit. I mean, I know that I'd known that you guys were talking to some other people, and I know a lot of people in the industry, so I had heard some things here and there, and at the same time, I was concerned for all of my guys. You can count on one hand the number of companies in this industry that you can work for above a certain level and really make a living. And Wizards is obviously one of those, and Decipher's another one. And I had an office full of guys who were dedicated to producing great games and more importantly to doing great Star Trek stuff.
Yeah,
you're all a bunch of Star Trek fans, really. Is that one of the biggest, one of the most fun projects for you to work on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we, over the years that we worked on it, I mean, we established what I think is a pretty strong relationship with Paramount, especially on the content side. And I think you can look back at a lot of the things that we ended up producing and see that they really let us kind of spread our wings creatively and develop a lot of new material, set in the universe. I mean, entire books or box sets or whatever the format on Klingons, on Romulans. Red Alert included something like 30 new starships, across all the different races and television shows.
I know, speaking from an outsider, because I'm not part of a development team here at Decipher, I'm part of the marketing team, but I can see these guys when they're developing these different games or things, and it must be just such a blast creating something for a universe that you really enjoy so much.
It's great. I mean, it's great to see. The development process is great, the creative process, and it's great to see the final product. And once it gets into the hands of the fans and the reactions it shows, or the email, the snail mail that you get from people, it really kind of feeds itself. I think the best example of that, taking the work that we did at Last Unicorn, is the Trek RPG Net website. I don't know if you guys have been there, but it's
I have actually.
Yes, yeah. It's one of the largest sort of fan sites for role-playing games on the net, and all of these guys, we lost the license, but the game's still alive on that website, and they're all writing their own books and publishing them, sticking their own stuff up on the web, and all the stuff that we had announced that never came out, they're doing themselves.
Speaking of stuff that you announced that never came out, do you guys have any products sort of in the pipe right now that were games that you had originally worked on back before we got the license for the RPG?
Yeah, we've quite a bit of stuff. At the time that we lost the license, we had really finally sort of hit our stride with our production schedule and with our internal processes. So we had something like 14 products, different books, not counting an expansion for the disc game and some ancillary stuff like that.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, that were in various stages of completion. And, different pieces of a lot of those things will be used for some of the stuff that we're doing over the next year or two. All that stuff, none of that stuff was purchased. Most of that was actually kill feed. So the rights actually revert back to the writers and artists. And obviously the setting material and whatnot that was developed in those products reverts back to Paramount.
Now, is your whole team, you mentioned that it was looking like they might end up scattering. Are they all going to stay with you now?
Everyone except one person is remaining. And actually, everyone who has remained is the core team. The person that moved on was someone who came on board later.
So it's really going to help you basically get to keep your family intact and keep on working on the things that you have been.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you think things might operate a little differently now,
well,
if at all?
I think the market's a little bit different, and I think we're 3 years wiser. So, personally, being a manager at Wizards, we'll also be able to apply some of the lessons that we learned there and some of the processes. I think that the philosophy behind some of the types of products that we're going to be doing is going to change slightly, especially with the unique relationship, the unique structure that we have here with the TCG and the fan club, and everything sort of operating concurrently. I think we're going to try to do some higher ticket, sort of flashier products, and not quite so many shorter, real die-hard books, aimed just at the
at the core,
at the Uber Star Trek.
You got to be really excited about all the synergy that you're being brought into now with the card game and the role-playing game and the fan club and the miniatures. I mean, it's all now under one roof, so we're going to be able to do all kinds of just fantastic things.
Well, I think it's a great opportunity. From a marketing perspective, it's this is the Star Trek network. And every aspect of the network sort of builds and feeds, the development of the network as a whole. And, it's going to be great to be part of that.
So now, you guys are the official role-playing and miniature development team out there.
Right.
Are you guys going to be, is it going to be sort of, are you going to call yourself Decipher, or is there going to be another name for the branch out there?
No, I think it's Decipher.
Okay.
Decipher West Coast.
Right. That's, I think, what I've been hearing. Decipher
Excellent.
West.
That's great. Can you give us a hint into the future of things you might be working on?
Well, like I said, I think that the first thing up is going to be a revisit to the role-playing game, and I think that we've learned a lot. We were planning second editions of the older games as it was, and I think we'll be able to apply 3 years of fan input, 3 years of play testing, the responses to a myriad of different products, taking a look at why certain types of products performed well and why certain other types may have not performed as well. I think that the synergies with the fan club present some interesting opportunities to do some different types of products, that might really have an opportunity to cross over from just the pure gaming community and give Star Trek fans something that they might be interested in as well.
Now, that sort of begs a little bit of a question, which I'm sure is going to be the number one question on every single person's mind, which is the RPG, the Star Trek RPG, going to be similar to the one that you've already designed?
It's going to be similar in the sense that it's still going to be a cinematic game. It's still going to be a game that's easy to learn. I think the presentation will be able to take the graphics and whatnot up a notch. I think that in certain specific instances, starship combat, things like that, I think we learned a lot of lessons. We'll be able to really streamline those systems in the game. I mean, overall, I think we'll be able to take all the knowledge that we've acquired and take a lot of the unpublished work and really kind of merge everything into something that's a significantly better product and something that gamers are going to enjoy playing even more than the games that they already have grown to be familiar with and to love.
Well, I'm telling you, man, I'm excited.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the best role-playing games that have been around created by Last Unicorn, and I think we're very lucky to have you guys as part of the team.
Well, thanks. Thanks, guys.
Well, I look forward to visiting your offices out there. I'm a SoCal boy by nature, so I'm sure I'll be out there visiting
the family. It's always sunny
in
75.
That's right. That's right. Oh man, I miss it. So, well, it was a big pleasure talking to you today, and I can't wait to see all the great things that are going to come out of your development team out there.
Well, thanks. It was great talking to you guys.
Thanks again, Christian, and that will wrap it up for this Radio Free. You're not with us next week, of course, Kyle.
That's right. I'm going to be on the road for the next couple weeks.
Okay, so I'll see what I can pull together while you're gone. I guess I was going to ask Kendrick, but you're not going to be here either, are you?
I will be here next week. That's right. Maybe we can do something in 2 weeks. So.
Okay. All righty then. So until next week, everybody have a good weekend. Take care.